Happening now, new firefighters will soon be joining the ranks in Jamestown, and a recent drug sweep pulls numerous narcotics and results in several arrests. Plus, cleanup still underway following a heavy storm that caused damage to multiple homes in our area.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. 4 new firefighters and improvements to fire stations were approved by Jamestown lawmakers. This after initial plans were voted down earlier this year. Our Bronson Rasmussen joins us live in the newsroom today with more. Bronson?
Justin, Jamestown City Council okayed the hiring agreement with the Firefighters Union Monday night. The union contract, now funded through ARPA funds, was originally shot down by the City Council back in January. With the firefighters agreement fulfilled, however, the city now has no outstanding contracts with any unions, a goal that city officials have been working towards for years.
We're glad to have that behind us. I'm sure they are as well. And again, with all the different units being under contract, it's nice to have that out of the way. And so, again, along with the administration, this council is pleased to be able to move forward and have all those contracts passed.
This specific contract will provide funding for 4 new firefighters to help combat the rising EMS crisis in the area. While 4 of the new members are funded through American Rescue Plan Act funds, Jamestown Fire Chief Matthew Kuhn tells us a 5th member, that is replacing a retired firefighter, will join the quartet in training. That firefighter is funded through the 2022 General Fund budget.
All 5 members will be attending recruit firefighter training. Our previous 3 that just graduated less than 2 weeks ago. This group will be headed out on Sunday evening, July 31st. Their classes begin August 1st. Their graduation date will be on Veterans Day, November 11th. So it's a 15-week program now.
The new trainees have been shadowing crews currently on the job before official training begins.
This is like a clean slate for them to learn how to do this. In accepting this job, they really agreed to do something that's going to change their life forever. It's really about building teamwork and trusting each other, because as firefighters, that's what we do, is rely on each other.
Improvements to Jamestown's fire stations, some of which are centuries-old buildings, are also included in approved funding packages, with improvements like new flooring, doors, and some backup generators.
Our buildings are some of the oldest in the city, but I believe that the stations are still in the best possible locations that they could be. The layout of Jamestown has not changed since those buildings were built.
Now, the vote for the new contract was unanimously approved, except for City Councilwoman at Large Kim Eklund, who abstained because her husband is a retired firefighter. Live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
And the city of Jamestown officially welcomed John Selstrom as the new comptroller last night. The city comptroller's duty is to maintain the city's daily accounting systems and records and payouts, as well as authorized claims for the city. Selstrom has been with the city for several years, originally working for the Jamestown Urban Renewal Agency.
So he's been dealing with a lot of different accounting and other financial things across the city. So we're really excited to bring him on. It is obviously a very large position to take on. We've been very lucky to have our former comptrollers, both Ryan Thompson and Joe Bolito, step in to provide some training and support. And we are also still actively looking for a deputy comptroller to provide additional support for John.
Selstrom was appointed to that role after former comptroller Ryan Thompson resigned earlier in the month for a job in the private sector. And new today, a sweep for illegal drugs on Jamestown's north side has resulted in several arrests. Jamestown police executed 2 search warrants at 850 and 854 Prendergast Avenue as part of a several-month-long narcotics investigation yesterday. As a result of the drug raid, officers recovered 53 grams of fentanyl, 41 grams of methamphetamine, 30 units of LSD, mushrooms, Suboxone, cocaine, scales, packaging material, cash, a switchblade knife, a 12-gauge shotgun, and a bullet-resistant vest. 21-year-old Austin Weatherby, 23-year-old Cora Waddington, 39-year-old Karina McCreary, and 21-year-old Dalton Noose were arrested and subsequently faced several charges in connection with the illicit narcotics and weapons found there. Anyone with information about the drug raid or other criminal activity in the community has to contact Jamestown Police's tip line. That number is 483-8477. And a town of Randolph teenager is accused of stealing a motor vehicle not once, but twice in just 1 month's time. The Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office reports that 18-year-old Marty Jones was arrested and charged in connection with the alleged crime on July 11th and 20th. In the first incident, it's alleged that Jones stole a car only to abandon that vehicle, leaving the scene on foot. Following her arrest in the latest alleged theft, Jones was transported to the sheriff's office for processing before she was later released with an appearance ticket. Now, in a separate incident this month, a 16-year-old resident of the Randolph Children's Home faces charges in family court in connection with another vehicle theft. And the Panama Central School District Board of Education has appointed a new superintendent. During a special meeting on Monday, the Board of Education announced the hiring of Aaron Wolf. Wolf comes to Panama after serving the past 6 years as the Director of Human Resources for the Olean City School District. He oversaw the district's hiring, contract negotiations, and staff operations. Wolf served in several roles at the Cat Little Valley Central School District, including various roles as principal and curriculum coordinator previously. The search for a new superintendent began back in April. Wolf's appointment will take effect on October 1, that following the retirement of current Superintendent Bert Lichtis, who had been with that district for the past 21 years. Well, now let's switch gears a little bit and get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us live today with that, and much calmer weather-wise than what we've been seeing over the past 48 hours, Dakota.
Yes, it is. The weather has quieted down for this Tuesday afternoon. You can see a live look over the Chautauqua Lake Association sky cam. You can see the blue sky starting to peek through some of the cloud cover right now, but the satellite composite does show you some of those clouds that have been streaming into the southern tier through the afternoon hours. So today's going to be a day of filtered sunshine. I don't think we're going to see full sunshine, but there will be sun and clouds through the afternoon hours today. The high was only 73 yesterday. It was a refreshing change after all that heat and all that gosh darn humidity we dealt with. We started the day at 52, 94, and 41 are the records for today. So through the afternoon hours today, sun and clouds are going to do battle for the sky, cooler with less humidity. 73 to 80 today with a west to southwest wind. Now some patchy fog rolls in through the overnight hours tonight, plus the humidity returns and a few showers. We'll talk about it with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day later in the show.
Alrighty, Dakota, we'll see you back in a bit. Crews in Dunkirk continuing to clean up damages caused by severe storms over the weekend. A look at where they're at. And later, New York State GOP candidate for governor speaking out after being attacked last week. Stay with us. WNY News Now will be right back after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
What is going on, my New York friends? My understanding is that you're in school for a little bit longer than most people, but I got some good news for you. Where are you going to be on September 10th? In Jamestown, New York, with me at 7 o'clock at the Reglena Theater, and you can get your tickets at reglena.com, REGLENNA.com. Make sure that you grab those now. It's going to be so much fun. Jamestown, New York, September 10th. Come and have fun with me.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Stay fire safe this summer. Only use grills outdoors, away from siding and deck railings. Clean grills often and remove grease or fat buildup. Make sure your gas grill lid is open before lighting. Have a 3-foot safe zone around grills and campfires. Keep kids and pets clear of the area. Dispose of coals after they cool in a metal can. Never leave grills, fire pits, and patio torches unattended. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Crews spent most of the day Monday working to restore power to homes on Lakeshore Drive in the city of Dunkirk. They've been hard at work since late Sunday night when heavy winds and rains led to a large tree falling on one man's home, a man who's new to the area. The homeowner didn't want to go on camera, but told us that one of the reasons he chose his home was for the big trees in the front yard, never thinking they'd be a reason he doesn't have a place to sleep at night. He said after being asleep for an hour on Sunday, he woke up to a plaster falling through the roof and landing on him. He fled his home along with his pets and spent the night in Buffalo. We spoke to his neighbor, who was on hand taking shelter as the storm rolled through.
On the side of my home, on the opposite side of the street where these trees came down, a maple tree was hit, a branch was hit.
Yeah, certainly frightening there. He returned home on Monday morning to help with that cleanup and start getting his life back in order. Glad nobody was hurt. Well, the GOP candidate running for New York governor is calling out the state's rising crime just days after he was assaulted while giving a speech to supporters upstate. Our Alyssa Wright joins us live in studio with more from the candidate in this scary situation, Alyssa.
Justin, candidate Lee Zeldin opened up about being attacked while giving a speech last Thursday. Zeldin used this experience as just one of what he says is many examples of why the cashless bail law is not working in New York State.
This past Thursday, Allison Esposito and I were upstate in Monroe County. During a campaign speech, I was attacked by somebody who was a veteran, and as I noticed the veteran hat, I noticed that in his hand, he had something that looked like brass knuckles, but they were a little different. They had two pointy daggers, kind of looked like a claw. And at the same moment as seeing on his hat that he was a veteran, which in my life means you drop your guard as low as you can possibly drop it, he was lunging towards my throat.
Zeldin says changes need to be made.
This is a moment for all of us to come together and to do something about it. This truly is a last stand for New York. It is imperative that we repeal cashless bail in the state. Judges should have discretion to weigh dangerousness and flight risk and past criminal record, seriousness of the offense on far more offenses.
Safety is a major pillar of his campaign, and without addressing the bill, Zeldin says officials are jeopardizing New York State residents' safety.
This is about keeping people safe. That's it. It's about the streets of New York being a place, the subways, homes, businesses, where people can go to work. They can feel safe in their home. They can go ride the subway and not see things and experience things that for a parent makes individuals, moms and dads, feel like it would be better parenting to take those kids down the strip of Las Vegas and they will see less than what they will see through that trip in the New York City subway. It's going in the wrong direction right now in this state, and it's impacting quality of life for everyday New Yorkers.
The man accused of trying to stab Zeldin now faces federal charges in the matter. While he was first released due to the state's bail reform law, he now was arrested and held on federal charges of assaulting a member of Congress with a dangerous weapon. Live in studio, Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Over to Pennsylvania now, which leads in the nation in the number of Lyme disease cases. And now, tick experts and state lawmakers alike are working to change that. The state Senate recently passed legislation establishing an electronic database to be used by the Department of Health, medical professionals, and PA Tick Research Lab. The lab currently offers free tick testing and can use that data collected to monitor various pathogens that cause tick-borne diseases, as well as tick population trends across the Commonwealth. Senate Bill 1188 is the legislation that aims to help control the tick population and provide coverage for doctor-recommended Lyme disease treatment and spread education awareness about tick-borne illnesses. To find out how you can get tested for free and more on this story, check out our website, WNYNewsNow.com. Governor Kathy Hogel is leading a push to combat child care deserts here in New York State. As our Julia Gress reports, according to the governor, the pandemic set back an already in-need sector.
But what we have seen, that when there is a shortage of affordable child care, this really becomes not just a problem for a family, an economic problem for them as well. It's an economic problem for our society.
Governor Kathy Hogel says since the pandemic, over 2,000 child care programs have shut down. For those who plan to return to work in person, this presents a big problem.
What has also happened is there's an affordability crisis. It is just too expensive for too many families, and it puts it out of reach. A typical New York family has to spend 40% of their income on child care for 2 kids.
More than 60% of the state is considered to be a child care desert. In Chautauqua County, for every 1 open spot in a child care center, there are nearly 6 children in need.
And so today I'm announcing over $70 million for child care to go to 344 new child care providers, brand new providers. And that'll create over 12,000 new slots across the state of New York. That includes 592 slots for infants and toddlers.
The funding for this initiative comes from the American Rescue Plan Act, with Western New York slated to receive over $4 million for 27 new child care centers. An additional $30 million will be spent to improve and expand already existing centers across the state.
This is on top of our $7 billion record investment in child care over the next few years. I already announced over $2 billion in child care subsidies, and our child care subsidies right now have an average benefit of over $9,000 per child. That's how we start meeting the needs. You help with the subsidies to families, and we'll have over 400,000 new slots based on the plan we put forth in our budget.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
The state has also expanded eligibility for family assistance, now allowing families who earn $83,000 or less to enroll for benefits. Coming up, a survey of parents revealing that over 40% not choosing to vaccinate their kids against COVID-19. And later, we check in with Buffalo Bills training camp. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter with a look at our full forecasts. Stay right there. WNY News Now is back right after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
No. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back, everybody. Wanted to give you a look at the Shadowcoin River water level because I know some of you are going to be asking, hey, how's the water level on the Shadowcoin with all the rain we had over the weekend? Well, the good news is it's doing A-OK. It did spike up to at least 1.41 feet on Sunday night with all that heavy rain, but now it is receded and the water levels are doing great on the area waterways. Right now we're at 66 degrees, a southwest wind of 6, the dew point back down into the mid-50s, so it's much more comfortable and more refreshing out there. If you have a tea time today, perfection. 75 degrees at 2, 77 at 4, 75 at 6, partly to mostly sunny, and again the winds west out of the west-southwest, averaging less than 10 miles an hour. So a nice day to get out on the golf course if you have a tee time scheduled for this afternoon. I haven't been out at all this year. Come on, folks. I need friends or golfing buddies. Tonight we have the International Space Station will fly over the region tonight, 10:44, moving northwest to east-northeast across your field of view, visible for 5 minutes. We will have clearing skies, so get out and watch that just before 10:50 tonight. See if you can spot the International Space Station. The humidity will be coming back, especially Wednesday and Thursday, but we do knock it back down for Friday and Saturday. And the rain chances will be going up tomorrow. We're talking about a 30 to 40% chance in coverage, or at least in area of a few showers and thunderstorms. High pressure now over the region, keeping us dry, but notice this boundary starting to move on in. This is going to become the next system that's going to produce a few showers across the region tomorrow. So the newest run of the computer modeling, it does try to bring in a few showers through the afternoon. Those are not going to materialize. It's mainly going to be partly to mostly sunny. This is right around the ISS passover. Notice that. Mainly clear skies. We'll keep it going into the overnight hours tonight. Tomorrow, even though this model doesn't really depict much in the way of rain showers, there will be a few showers and thunderstorms at times through the afternoon hours on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, the rain chances become a little bit more isolated, but we'll have the chance for a few more scattered showers and storms by the time we go into Thursday. So partly to mainly clear tonight. Patchy River Valley fog develops 53 to 63 tonight with a light wind. Now the future, next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So we're back into the lower 80s for Wednesday and Thursday with a few scattered showers. Friday, more isolated showers, but turns cooler and less humid. The sun is back in good supply for both weekend days, but the humidity starts to tick up by next Monday, Justin, but at least we should be dry on Monday.
Yeah, beautiful weekend there, Dakota. Thank you very much. Well, around the nation, more parents are choosing not to have their young children vaccinated for COVID-19. Today, a Kaiser Family Foundation study revealed that 43% of U.S. parents of children under 5 say they will not get their child vaccinated. That's the highest percentage in the year the study has been asking questions. Researchers also found only 17% of parents of children between 6 months and 5 years old say their child has been vaccinated or will be as soon as possible. Parents' responses coincided with the partnership. 21% of Democratic-leaning parents said they would not vaccinate their young child. That's compared to 64% of Republican-leaning parents. The Food and Drug Administration authorized COVID vaccines in children as young as 6 months in mid-June. Pope Francis kicked off a week-long visit to Canada yesterday with an apology to the nation's Indigenous people. The pontiff said he, quote, humbly begs forgiveness for the evil committed by so many Christians against the Indigenous people. He was speaking about the residential school system for Indigenous people, which persisted for more than a century. Under that policy, at least 150,000 Indigenous children were forced to attend boarding schools away from their families. While there, many were abused physically, sexually, and emotionally. A Canadian National Commission has referred to it as cultural genocide. The Vatican has said the entire point of the Pope's visit is one of penance. He said he's praying the suffering of the past can lead to a future of justice, healing, and reconciliation. Back here at home, economists are closely watching this week to get a sense of whether the U.S. is facing a recession. The Fed is expected to rise interest rates again and on Wednesday, which would help fight inflation but risk recession. But a downturn or not, experts say Now's the time to evaluate your finances and make sure you're in a healthy spot. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan shows us what to do.
As recession fears rise, economists are weighing in on if and when a recession could happen.
Recession risks are high and rising, probably pretty close to even over the next year or two.
Downturn or not, experts say now is the best time to look at your finances and create a recession-proof plan.
Whether the economy is going up or going down, it's really important for all of us to have a really strong financial background.
Financial expert Julie Alma-Taveras recommends calculating your survival number, the most pared back amount that you need to survive each month.
That's going to include housing. It's going to include basic food and groceries, not a lot of dining out. It's going to include your health insurance and medical needs.
And use that amount as a target for tip number 2. Ramp up your savings. Bulk up your emergency fund and cushion your budget. Number 3, review your portfolio for winners and losers.
You want to protect all the assets that you have. So the cash that you have, your investment accounts, your properties.
And number 4, watch your debt. Not only are rates going up, but economists say owing too much hurts your credit score and your ability to get a loan.
If you lose your job or you get your hours cut back, your pay cut, then it's going to make it harder to service that debt, pay on that debt.
And finally, if you're unfortunately laid off, get familiar with your severance package, apply for benefits, and look ahead.
You want to become BFFs with your resume.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
All right, Jen, thank you. Next year, we check in with training camp for the Buffalo Bills as the team prepares for their upcoming season.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Slow down, and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights, vests,
please give us some room.
Slow down.
slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger is real.
Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
All right, so this is exciting. The Buffalo Bills, they're getting ready for their fall season during this week's training camp in Rochester. Erie Sports Now's Isaac Petcash reports as practices continue today.
All season long last year, the Buffalo Bills were stalwart on the defensive end, holding teams to under 20 points in multiple scenarios and ranked #1 in overall defensive efficiency. But that late season collapse in the playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs has defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier looking for answers. He hopes some of the new incoming players will help fill that void.
Sometimes when you are so much better than everybody else, things come easy to you, so you may have some disdain for guys who may not get it as quickly as you do. But Vaughn, he's so open to helping the young guys and giving back and really trying to bring guys along.
With so much talent in the AFC this year at the quarterback position, Frazier says getting to the QB while only rushing 4 will be critical to stopping opposing offenses.
If you try to live by blitzing all the time, it's gonna get tough. You got to find a way to be able to rush with 4, and having a Jordan, obviously having a Vaughn, seeing Greg take another step, Carlos Basham take another step, AJ. I mean, those are guys that we're counting on to really help us in 2022.
Now, practice this morning, despite being only day 2 of training camp, was intense. The Bills saying today they understand the challenge that they have of being one of, if not the favorites for the Super Bowl title this year. They say they'll use that as motivation to try to get 2 steps further than they did last season when their season ended at Arrowhead Stadium. Reporting tonight from John Fisher College at Buffalo Bills training camp, Isaac Petcash, Erie Sports Now.
All right, Isaac, thank you very much. Team's looking good there. I know Dakota, not a Bills fan. I am. Come from a Steelers family, but converted, and I got to tell you, I'm excited.
Just give them their Super Bowl already. I'm sick of it.
No giving. We will earn this Super Bowl
No,
this year.
no.
Yes, I got
gonna
the
give
hype.
it to 'em.
You're wearing the blue,
Watch,
though.
folks.
You're wearing
Watch,
the blue
folks.
today. We're matching, uncoordinated. B, you got the blue, the Buffalo blue. Let's
The
go.
Patriots are blue too.
Yeah, but they're a little darker blue than that.
Okay, I'll wear a dark blue shirt tomorrow.
All right.
Goodbye.
I'll hold you to it. That's it for us today. We'll leave you with this shot over Chautauqua Lake. Hopefully you have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here tomorrow with Dakota's dark blue Patriots shirt. You should wear a jersey.
I do have one.
All right. Let's get it.